Bar Harbor Town Council voted unanimously tonight to ban the sale of flavored tobacco and nicotine products. The ordinance means the end of the sale of any tobacco products with fruit, menthol, mint, chocolate, and other flavors that some say are designed to appeal to children. Bar Harbor becomes the 5th community in Maine to ban flavored tobacco, joining Bangor, Portland, South Portland, and Brunswick. Penalties include fines from $50 to $100 for first offenses and between $300 and $1,000 for each subsequent offense within 24 months.
Isn't it simply common sense to protect the health and long-term well-being of our children? Don't we know enough about the addictive power of nicotine to eliminate this new marketing scheme now in operation against our children?
The ban may be penalizing responsible store owners who are selling these products that are legal to sell to anyone over 21. Taking the responsibility out of the hands of responsible adults does not solve the problem of kids getting flavored or unflavored tobacco products from irresponsible adults.
The ordinance takes effect June 1st.